Guys, we are here. We're gonna finally do it. We are gonna finally talk about what are we talking about? The Padre Stratocaster custom shop guitar that Tom used in Blink. I got my gear shirt on. I got a fancy background today. David's blurring his. I don't know why. What do you have back there? What are you hiding?
Hiding secrets.
Secrets.
That's for another episode.
And Stefan's got the cool MySpace angle going on.
I literally did it just because before we started, I was like, I'm gonna do the MySpace just to try it out for once. But yeah, this is it. This is finally a lot of years in the making.
2 years in the making. We're finally gonna do it, and we are excited because Stefan has researched this thing to death, and he knows everything about it. And I'll give you a little brief history. If you're like me and you were a Blink fan in the early 2000s, you saw that first date performance where they were all beat up and you thought it could have been real, you weren't sure, and I was like, what is the story on this? Tom played Padre, and it was it looked like a black guitar, but it was brown with a orange stripe, and it had a white invader in it. And then you also saw it on Jay Leno when they played Stay Together for the Kids. And you might have seen some random tour pics because he used it all the time, but I never knew a lot about that guitar. I always thought it was black. What about you, David? What was your thoughts about Padre?
It was one of those things that, like, you spotted it straight away because it was so different, right, to his, like, teal guitar, his surf green guitar. So it was always something that was a bit of a mystery. And as time went on, I was like, oh, that's maybe the connection of the bridge to him, like, turning to Gibson. It was always, like you say, it was always like a little bit of a mystery that you didn't really know kind of where it came from because it was so different. Right.
And if you were a Boxcar fan, I do remember that guitar a little bit associated with the early years. And honestly, until I met Stefan, that was all I knew about it. Like, it was just, I knew that it was either brown or black, and it was on those 2 TV performances, a couple tour videos, and then Boxcar. But he's here to give us a in-depth history. I've been reading your comments for years. David has started reading them for months now. We're going to ask questions about things that we already know just to ask them for you. And let's go, dudes.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's how my connection was. I saw it on Leno. That Stay Together for the Kids is probably one of my favorite performances, I think, from a live, because I just, at the time, having to use, we were just talking about it earlier, Kazaa or Morpheus or LimeWire, whatever it was, whatever your virus of choice was. And I watched it all the time, and there was something about that guitar that I loved. I don't know if it was just associated with the time where I was in my life, the time that everything, it was just, that was it. So I guess just maybe starting off really quickly on how I was able to get it, just because I'm sure that's going to be asked a couple times. So, as all of us have, having Tom or whoever on Instagram, you'd always see pictures of like his guitar rack, and on the guitar rack it would have, the black Strat, the Boxcar one, the white Strat, the prototype green Strat, the natural Strat, the Gibsons, everything. And I was like, I wonder where that guitar ever went. Because before researching, famous guitars, before the whole, Gear 182 stuff, like I was, kind of naive and just, oh, it's somewhere. It's just probably whatever. So I messaged somebody in Tom's camp, and yeah, I just said, hey, do you know where this guitar is? And nothing. Like, I heard back, no, don't know where it is. And then I got a message out of the blue being like, hey, take a look. And it was that guitar. I was opening it up, and it was that. I was like, holy crap! I think that's crazy. Even though it did look a little bit different, it had a different pickup, and I was like, and the color of the brown and orange were a little bit different. I was like, oh, but that's it. Like, that's it. So I threw it out there. I just said, like, if Tom's ever open to letting it go, I know it was in storage for a little bit. If ever let it go, let me know. And yeah, perfect. Got a message saying, what's your number? Give me a call. So I called them. We talked for a little bit and made a deal, and that was kind of it. Very surreal, because that opened up this whole Pandora's box of, the whole, gear page and all the experiences that, like, the three of us has even had all started really because of Padre. Like, I owe Padre, not just because it's one of my favorite Tom guitars, but I think that alone opened up this whole thing for us, and meeting all these amazing people and experiences and everything. So anyways,
you have to point out that it would be really difficult to get something like that now, because your timing was right with the pandemic, and it was during the Skiba years of Blink, and it just wasn't how it is now.
Yeah, that's not going to happen now, but just like the Legacy sale, everyone's like, oh, I want there to be another Legacy sale, and it's like, yeah, if only. But that opened up kind of the history on it for me. Like I wanted to find as many pictures as I could. I wanted to find as much from a history as I could. And it's not just because I own this guitar and, you know, I know that people, whatever, ToTheStars called it iconic and other people might not agree and whatever. It's to each his own. But there's some really cool things about this guitar and kind of the history of the whole thing. So I wanted to have everything ready and make sure I fact checked with numerous people just to make sure that everything that I'm saying is 100% legit. You don't have to believe it's more than fine. I believe the sources that I got them from that were there. But anyways, yeah, we can kind of get started. So we can't really start to talk about Padre without first talking about the green punker guitar. This is, I think, in my opinion, I think is Tom's most iconic. It's the green. It was in Adam's Song, all the small things, What's My Age Again, numerous live performances. You know, it's that special shade of surf green. But one thing that was really cool on it is the neck, and the neck had these, we call them punker guy inlays, which I always thought was kind of cool. And something really small, unless like you had a bigger TV or you found pictures online, you wouldn't really notice it in music videos because it's the quality back then. But really, really cool nonetheless. So that neck was just a straight, you know, custom shop 69 neck with Tom drew the little punker guys that gave it to, at the time, Ron Thorne, who was their inlay manufacturer and inlay person at the time that did all of the inlays on Tom's stuff. And a lot of other pop punk bands that, you know, Brian, you and I talked, we should kind of cover inlays. I think that'd be kind of a cool episode too. And yeah, so technically, I guess like what happened was he gave this guitar back to Fender in, I want to say 2001, 2000, because they were going to be opening up a museum. So they wanted to have something to display. And as people really know, Tom isn't the biggest fan of his gear, or not fan of his gear, but really doesn't care about his gear really as much.
He's not sentimental when it comes
Thank
to
you.
gear,
Yeah.
No.
Not sentimental. So, you know, after the Take Off Your Pants and Jacket tour ended in 2001 is when Tom debuted on the Leno show a new guitar, which is the ones that you can see here. So it's like a darkish purplish brown with specific orange. It's not like a traditional Fender orange. It's a specific orange that Tom's ex-wife Jen kind of gave him color swatches for them to match, and this was it. So it's the same thing, still the American hardtop bridge, the one pickup. It is the Invader pickup, and it has the neck. So he used this one.
So the same neck, Stefan, or a neck made to look like the punker neck from the green?
So from what I'm told, it is the same neck. So the neck that was on that one, the Fender Museum didn't open up as planned. So when Tom asked for a new guitar and he wanted something with a stripe, they already had the neck there, so they used that neck. So there's a
and you could
lot
argue
of
that
notes
this
here.
theme is very similar to like his prototype Gibson. He started with the orange and brown.
Yeah. So that's the next iteration of it. Kind of will show that a little bit more too. So the story goes is he did smash this guitar in this iteration. Like he had it from it was like September in 2001. So we only had this like in this iteration from 2001 till around middle of December. So the two shows that he could have smashed it at, because it did get smashed, as you can see in the photos here, it did get smashed, and it was either at the Night 89X Stole Christmas performance that they had. It was like on the 15th of December, or when they were in Alaska on the 31st of December.
That's great that you put that photo in there. And a lot of people have asked me, why would he smash it? Why? One reason, he's not sentimental, he doesn't care. And then the other thing is Mark dared him to do it. So it's Mark's fault he smashed it. And this Instagram post that you put on right here is so great because we always get this sent to us. The old C phone, oopsies. And they think that's the punker body, Stefan, because Tom put that in there.
Yeah. So the other thing with that too is, and the reason why I think it is the Alaska show more so is, it was the last show on the tour. It's I don't think they had any of like those Squier or Fender white guitars that they just had for every show that he would just smash. So I think in turn he just did this and that was it. And then they just kind of threw it into storage for a little bit, and then, you know, in 2012 they gifted it to somebody, one of the people that helped work for I just want to give names, but gifted it to that person, and I think it was 2012. People do think that it is the punker body.
I want to throw out there really quick, and I want to get David's reaction as well, because notice there's no green underneath that brown. Like, a lot of people thought, oh, because it has the punker neck, this is the green repainted, and he said in the caption, the old seafoam, and that's where it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Surf green, seafoam green, custom color of surf green, you know. David, what were your thoughts when you saw this Instagram post?
What, did I think that it was the
It
old
was the
seafoam?
punker green one smashed? Is that what you were thinking too?
Well, you would think so, because they obviously captioned it, right?
Mhm.
But it's really hard to know, because they could have completely sanded the body down, you know,
That seems
resprayed it.
insane for how cheap they get these bodies, right?
Yeah, I mean, even like sprayed in inside the pickup cavities. You know? A lot of time, that bit is kind of left, like for bare wood, isn't it? Based on a lot of guitars I've opened up.
Yep.
So, but in that case, you would think if they just fucking blitzed it with a spray gun, then there should still be the surf green underneath. Sorry, seafoam green underneath.
Yeah, I thought 100% it was when I first saw it, because why wouldn't it? It's from the Blink 182 official Instagram page. It had the punker. I thought, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. That's what it is. Talking to Alex Perez, who was the maker of these guitars, one thing that he noticed right off the bout was when he made the original green punker, it was routed for 3 single coils, and he had to like route the body to make the humbucker.
69 body, you can tell from the vintage bridge that's on it.
Exactly, and that's the other thing that guitar had that the others don't. So after he's like, no, I don't think it was, because it had it was routed for 3 single coils, and this one is, you know, an HSH, so this one already had the humbucker in it. So still, I was like, that's still, you know, it's still pretty cool though that they use the same neck on that guitar. So the next kind of thing I do was, so then Padre comes up next. So this is Padre 2. This is the one that is how it is currently. The first showing of this guitar that I would love to be proven wrong, but the first showing of this guitar would have been April 1st, I think it is, in Boxcar Racer. So that's when it originally came out. Same with the Boxcar I Feel So Strat. They both came at the same time. Going into Boxcar, he did request two new guitars. He smashed the black one already at the the Euro MTV Music Awards or whatever. So he smashed the black one, and then he smashed this one. So they made another black one and another brown one. The brown on Padre 2 is a little bit different. It's more of what the Padre color scheme is, like that poopish brown, people call it, and the orange. So it has a little bit of a different color to it. It has the same neck, and you know, I didn't add. I can. I'll maybe Sully, I will give you the pictures for this too if you can help add it in. But another thing why when we talk about the neck, I can tell you why it was the same on Padre 1 compared to Padre 2. But same neck that was on this. It's the only difference is this one had a JB pickup, which was something completely new and different for Tom. Everything is Invader. All of his settings were dialed for the Invader, and so having the JB, which is my personal favorite pickup, and not just because of Padre. I have it in a Les Paul. I have it in a Strat. Like it's such a good stuff. I wish that's what was in the Starcaster.
Talking about the JB really quick, Stefan, if you don't mind.
Please.
So the JB pickup is Jeff Beck's design. I mean, if you don't know who Jeff Beck is, he is an insanely good guitarist. He made a career just of himself doing solos and stuff. He's that good. And Sum 41 uses it. Green Day, Billy Joe uses it in his blue Strat that everyone loves.
Cobain,
it is
Kurt
such
Cobain.
a universally loved pickup. And one of the questions I had for you, Stefan, was there ever a black Invader in this guitar? Was it just a white Invader, then a black JB, or was there something in between?
Judging from what I've seen from the first time it got released from when it was in Boxcar, it was always a black pickup. Was it Invader or JB? That was still like the last thing I tried to figure out, because in some pictures I was able to get some higher quality pictures, and it's hard for me to tell what it is. When it was in, you know, after the Boxcar, the first leg of the Boxcar, there was 2 Boxcar tours. There was the beginning of 02 and the end of 02. So the beginning of 02, when he was still using Fenders, it does look like there are some bits that it does look like a JB, but the first 2 shows just because I can't 100% tell. If I had to guess, it still would be a JD pickup in it. But and then when he was doing the Pop Disaster tour in the middle of '02, it was a JD. So
One thing I was going to ask, I don't know if you know, but you know how he smashed up first Padre in black. Like, Tom's not sentimental. Like, did he direct Fender to remake Padre 2? Or was that just them saying, that's what we made him before, we're going to make it again?
no, so when he really, from what I understood, is he really liked the racing stripe on Padre, because at the time Padre 1, it was the only guitar that had the racing stripe. Because during that time, the white with the black stripe wasn't there yet. That came out with Boxcar. So when he went back, he just said, I think, give me like a black one and give me another brown one. And I think at the time he wanted it more so the Padres color theme. So like match what the Padre colors are, and that's because you can definitely tell that is a different shade of brown. Like the Padre one is almost like it's almost like purple, like a darkish like purple compared to Padre 2. So, but he did have it where he wanted the stripes on them. So they just said, I don't think he was, oh, I want this pickup or I want this. I think he did say he wanted the neck still on Padre 2, and I can get to show you why for the photos. But yeah, so this did get released, and then he did use it for majority of '02 until the last bit of a Boxcar tour where he went to Gibson's. So he got the red 335s for back reasons and kind of whatever. So let's see. So the next one, I do want to talk about why I kind of think, from all the research, of why I think the guitars are the way, or the green one is the neck that's on Padre. So this is something that not a lot of people know about. So this is in the Fender Museum. So where are my notes here? In 2008, Fender Museum opened up their museum where you can kind of take a look at all their stuff, and they had a Blink here. So on the Blink one here, you can see at the very top, you can see Mark's first bass that he has that is in all the VIP tour, and you see the green one here. So the green one here is the actual body from the green one. So this one that in 2008, after smashed and everything, like whatever people thought, this is the actual green body. You can tell by the bridge it's pretty rusted out because it just sat there. The other thing I kind of noticed, and maybe it's just me, but like the neck on this one, does have the punkers, but it doesn't look like it's even finished. Like I don't even know if there's frets on it, because it doesn't shine like there would be with frets on it. It could just be the lighting, I don't know. But even still, it looks very like, dehydrated as well. So you know what I mean? So after doing a lot of research and using actually, Brian, that 2003 Custom Shop calendar, because they had the best pictures of the green Strat when Tom had it. So this is the green Strat, Tom still played it. This is like, they took this photo.
That's the vintage bridge if you want a 69 Strat, just from the Custom Shop, regular 3 single coils, Jimi Hendrix style.
Yeah.
That's the one if you got a hardtail. Obviously they have Jimi Hendrix uses a trend, but you know what I mean. Like, that's the hardtail vintage bridge.
So this is the legit green one that Tom did play. So taking these photos and analyzing where even on the pickguard, because I've looked at hundreds of different pickguards just to see if anything even remotely matched. And it's when I asked even Fender, they said that like all the pickguards, they're different patterns on each one of them. They're all kind of unique, kind of like a fingerprint. So if you look at like the one that's hanging on the wall, which is the one on the left here, and then the one on the right is Tom's actual one, you can clearly see where the lighting hits it, and it's the same pattern that's on Tom's. So again, you can definitely see that the one there is the one. The other thing is, if you look at Tom's photos here, he has a ding on the bottom of the green Strat. So you can see, and that happened very, very early on. And on the display at the museum, you can see where it's circled there, it also has that same ding. So they wouldn't have did this and just put that little ding. Like, it's something that I don't know. Even talking with Alex, like, the neck is the replica. They did make a different neck specifically for this guitar, and because they had the body there for a while waiting for the museum to open. They made a new neck, put it up, and that's it. So
okay, where's this guitar now, Stefan?
I have researched and researched and researched. I have messaged everybody that worked even at the Fender Museum. Like, I went in depth to try to find what happened to it, and I will say that it is with a private collector that clearly does not want to be known. there's two thoughts on it. One is that like somebody did just, when it was closing down, they just took it and left. The other is when the museum closed down, they sent back all of the guitars. Mark got his bass back, obviously, because it's in the VIP from the last tour. And either the green got sent back to Tom and Tom just gifted it to somebody, or it legit got stolen.
Okay, so to summarize, he had the Punker green. Fender needed it for a museum. You said something like Tom really liked the original Punker neck, so he took it off and kept it. Like Doug probably did that. And his old tech for the listeners. So then they sent the loaded Punker body to Fender. They made a new Punker neck for this display. They put the original Punker neck on Padre 1, and they played it on TV and stuff. Mark dared him to smash it. He smashes it. We have confirmed when you took yours apart that it has the repair on there, so it is the same neck.
Yeah.
That neck also went on Padre 2, so it's on the third guitar at this point.
Yeah.
On Padre 2, and that's where it is today. And then this guitar that either a collector or a friend or somebody has is the original loaded surf green custom shop body with a new Padre neck that wasn't on tour with Blink.
Correct.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Correct. So I'm still going to try searching. I have actually a couple more things looking for it as well. That is my goal, is to get, because I love Padre, but getting that neck back on that body would be
Holy Grail,
amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying. So to talk about the neck, so a lot of people are like, well, how do you even know? So on the left picture here, from the calendar, you can see the wood grain on the neck. You can see like where the lines are and how everything matches from the lines on Tom's neck compared to
from
Padre
that
neck.
custom shop 2003 calendar that I had as a kid.
Yeah.
And it has the green with the Punker neck in it.
Yeah. So this has like the same wood grain on it that this one had. And then in Adam's song, you can see a perfect still of the guitar, and you can see right after the second tuner, you can see a little like circle kind of dot thing where like there's like a knot in it, and here's Padre on the right where you can see the same knot. So it's the same. You can't really, like, I don't know, I've never seen a guitar with the same like knot in the same place. You know what I mean? Like it's so. With the wood grain lining up to being the same like knots that are in the wood, and this isn't veneer. Like there's other photos that I have as well that I'll send to you that shows like even the wood grain lining on the top of the headstock as well that matches the top of the other one. So that's the neck. It went through a lot of guitars. So yeah, I mean, it might not seem a lot to a lot of people, but finding all this information, talking to all these people, finding out everything, it was a long process to do. That's why I think that Padre, and I'm not just saying that because I own it, but has the coolest history with it, just because it legit, it has like the neck from, I would think his most iconic guitar. It was in some pivotal points of the band during, Boxcar Racer. It was in Blink. There's photos of it during
Vader in it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a custom color and a custom stripe color.
Yeah. It's a very unique piece.
And for the nerds out there that are like me, it actually has Schaller locking tuners, the plain chrome ones that they made in the early 2000s. Yeah. It has Schaller strap pins, which are the same as Fender makes now.
Yeah.
But if you just wanted it to be exact, it's got a roller string tree you can see above me. Stu Max sells those if you want them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, that's pretty much. It's got the regular American hardtail bridge on it, but it's chrome instead of nickel like the signatures.
Yeah. So I mean.
Oh, does the pickguard have a black line around it, Stefan?
Yes.
Like, is it?
It's a 3-ply. Yeah. It's a 3.
Cool.
Yeah. But this guitar, regardless of iteration or whatever, I was pretty honored when ToTheStars did release replicas of it, and there's so many, flack about people's opinions on certain guitars and stuff, and like at the end of the day, like who cares if somebody likes something? Why burst their bubble, right? Like you don't have to like every single piece of gear or whatever. Just you don't have to announce it every 30 seconds.
If you're done with the pictures, I had something I was going to say.
Yeah.
You could put us on the screen and you hold it, and me and David will ask you questions and stuff.
Sure.
And we just wanted to deep dive a little bit. Some people like to see it in like a video range style.
Yeah.
David, just before I start, do you have anything that you can think of that you were just curious about?
Well, I wanted to like try and we're going to cut a bit out on me, but I wanted to try and obviously talk about like the work Stefan's done and like how much people should appreciate. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's
yeah.
But
So let's talk for a minute about this To The Stars limited 300 Padre run that they did. I just want to throw out there, because Stefan put out a Stefan's thoughts, I just want a quick Brian thoughts, and then we'll do a David thoughts. Okay, so a lot of people when they saw this for sale, they were like, oh man, it's because of the gear page, it's because Stefan's been wanting this to be made, and blah, blah. That is not true. It actually was Tom's request, and he sent his assistant to call his manager to get that guitar out of storage, and he forgot he sold it. So this was a Tom request that they were like, oh crap, we know the guy that owns this, and Stefan has been working on giving pictures of the parts, of matching the colors exactly. They're going to send in color swatches, I think, this week, and he's going to match it exactly. So you're going to have a signature guitar designed, to the specs of this one at an
more or less
more affordable price.
Yeah. Just to point out, Stefan didn't have to do this. He could have easily said no, but he's doing this for the fans. You know?
He bought the color matching device for the fans. He could have just been in hiding. It doesn't help him that there's 300 more of these. Why wouldn't he want the only one? So like he's trying to make it where other people can get it. I guess some of the questions that I see, Stefan, and feel free to throw one in, David, if you got one, but what is it like owning Padre? It kills me that this is just what I've read. It kills me. I just want to own a piece of Blink gear so bad. Stefan, how can I get something from the band? And tell me about that.
It's surreal. And I think everyone that's like owned a piece of musical, like famous musical gear, I think will say the same thing. Is when I first got it, I have a Ring, like one of those Google Ring cameras things. So I was at work watching. As soon as FedEx pulled up, I raced home. I was just pumped, right? Came in the orange case and opening it up and seeing it for the first time was it was so surreal. Seeing this on, riding in vans and boxcar, everything. It was just man, this is unbelievable. Plugging it in and playing it, and it's just man, the neck alone is, I know because the neck's been and everything, but it's such a, this neck is probably one of the best necks.
Right? The back
of
the neck?
Yeah, the back of the neck is sanded. You can actually see where the brake was. They actually did a very clean repair on the brake too, which is good. But just the playability on this, it's clear why Tom liked this specific neck. It's worn in, it's perfect. But then, after a while, when I put it up, and after a while and I'm not trying to be whatever, but it just becomes, it's a guitar, right? It's wood with electronics in it. And granted, it is pretty amazing to have. It's still, you know what I mean? It's still, it's a piece of gear that people, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but after, when that honeymoon stage is over, so I don't want people to think, oh, I'm being, I don't know, whatever, but it's true. I'm so blessed and honored to have this piece of gear. But these replicas that are coming out, I should even say me, because Fender has done an amazing job getting everything ready. Like I said in my thoughts video, when I had that Zoom meeting with them, I had a list of okay, I'm going to ask for this orange case, I'm going to ask for the JB, I'm going to ask for making sure the colors are right, I'm going to ask for it to be numbered, all these things. And they're just no, this is it. And it's everything. They've already done, they really did listen to the fans on this. The cost of it, and the punker inlays, that's the biggest issue people have with these replicas. And to be honest, $1,750 US, yeah, it's more than the other one, but what I keep saying, it's a neck, even though it doesn't have the inlays, it's a neck that you can't really just easily come up and purchase. Is it a custom shop neck? No, but it's the same specs as this. It's the exact same. It's got the truss rod at the heel. It has the right proper decal on it, or decal on it. It's going to have when can you just buy a brown with an orange stripe guitar directly from Fender, with one volume knob, with the JB? It's hard to not, and I'm going to get those color swaps this week, and I'll I'll post pictures and I'll be brutally honest. If they're bad, they're bad. If they're good, they're good. And I'll show people what the colors are in comparison to it. And to be honest, like when I did do the color swaps with that Nix Mini 3, which is an amazing piece of technology, I did take the pick guard off of it, so the color on the underneath the pick guard is what it actually is. It's not
sun damage.
not sun damage, so it might look a little bit different maybe than like the brown hair just because of that. But like I tried to, when I did it, I wanted them to have it exactly like how it was when it was brand new, you know. And then the orange, I couldn't really, the orange is going to be the orange, but
Right.
other than that, yeah, like I'm so excited for them to actually release. I got one. I've got one coming to me, and I know I have the original, but then finally I can just put this in the case because this is getting to be a little expensive for me just to be playing around with, right? But yeah, this whole Padre journey was just, it's pretty surreal.
Yeah, and the fans need to keep in mind when they talk about things like inlays, like that drawing of that inlay is something that Tom drew. Fender doesn't know if Tom had some kind of ownership or he was drawing something that was a copyright design, and like the Freemason logo's never gonna happen, guys. Ever. Like,
No.
just give that up. I mean, they're not gonna put Freemasonry on a Fender product, like,
No.
unless it was something custom for an artist. The only chance you have at these inlays, because I know there's wire factories that make inlays and stuff, but they don't have it in the Mexico factory. They'd have to ship the front boards back and forth, and it would increase the cost so much, and people are already mad about the cost. And I did a Warmouth build for fun with a $500 neck, and I got up to about $1,400 with no case. And that's if you go brand new. Like, I know
Yeah.
you can get used stuff. So I think it's fairly priced. If you look at the Jim Root Jazzmaster made in Mexico, it's $19.99 USD. So it kind of falls in line, and it's got a custom case with the animal print on the inside that matches exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when would you ever see a case like that? You know,
Just the Billy Joe one with the cheetah backed on this Les Paul Jr., but like these cases are expensive and they're custom made.
That was my wish. That was like my one like wish. Like, oh, if you can just have it in an orange case, because I thought there's no freaking way. And then they like, well, look at this, and then they showed me like what it was almost pretty much the same pictures everybody saw from ToTheStars, but I was like, this isn't actually happening, and they're like, yeah, no, but that's what the expensive part is. The cases are so expensive because they have to custom make them. That's why the blackout Strats. That's why the white, the Yeti didn't come with it.
The haters make me so mad because like I'm jealous of this guitar too that Stefan owns. I've never played. David's jealous. I mean, but there's only one in the world. I don't want to take it from Stefan. I don't want to take it from another fan. And then you have an opportunity to have the closest that you can get. Yes, you could do a custom shop, but that custom shop right there is probably going to be, you saw the Joe Strummer custom shop that came out with the real Orange Road case or whatever, it was pink, and it was $15,000. So like,
yeah, it was expensive.
These guys need to relax. Like, we might get one of these one day when we're 60, but this is the best thing we can get right now in our age range to match. And as far as like other fan accounts saying which guitar is more iconic, who freaking cares? They're all iconic. They're all what Tom has used, and they look awesome. They're his design. And no offense to Stefan, we love him so much, but like, if you don't like Stefan, still get the guitar because it's awesome. Like, don't like let that determine your decision here. Like, this guitar has so many custom, unique features on it that I just can't believe. I had to get that out there. When I just see like on Reddit or Instagram and people are like, what is this guitar? It's just not even that common or whatever, dude.
No, I know. It's but it's, and again, like, if you don't like the color, cool. If you don't like the pickup, cool. I people think that like I would get offended. I could care less if you don't like a certain guitar that I like.
If it doesn't have an invader, it's not a Tom. But like, dudes, there's like 20,000 TD Mexico Strats out there. I think is the number, like 20,000. Aren't you glad to get something different to try, like a little different tone?
Well,
I am.
The thing that I like about, I think that one of the most things I liked about the fact that they're doing a Padre replica is it puts the JB now on the map. As before, it was like, okay, so what do you guys like more, the Invader, the Dirty Finger, or the SH5? And it's like, well, it's only had one guitar, but there was the JB, and I think the JB out of all of them, and I'm not just saying this, like, I've always loved the JB. So when I found that this had the JB, I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. But that's cool to me that like it puts something else on the map. It's something that's not just an Invader and that's it. Like, it's something different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I'm
at the
pretty
time of
happy.
this recording, the Padres are sold out, but
Yeah.
with the Blackout and the Yeti, they release 5 or 10 every single time
Yeah.
when they get them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
watch their website. As soon as people start getting them, they'll probably have a couple, and you can get one.
That's what I think. I think it will. I think they'll have a few more after, but I think that's it. The thing is they, everyone's like, oh, what guitar would they do next? What guitar would they do next? I don't know if they're going to do a fourth, especially from the Strats. They might start doing something different, and I think Fender's pretty. Everyone says, oh, Fender's just being a cash grab. It's not really being a cash grab. It's like
It was Tom's
people.
idea.
Well, one, it was Tom's idea. Maybe Tom's doing the cash grab, but it's not that. It's just the fact that like I think they need to do something aside from just a straight Strat, right? Like they need to start doing something different. And I've already told them about doing the orange subcaster. I think that would be super
The
cool.
correct orange with a custom neck that says Subcaster, and
Like it would be something completely different. Than it'd be a baritone, so it would be something off.
And remember, thanks to Stefan, you guys would get the correct orange. You would
Yeah.
get the letters in the exact same size and font. He's offered to fly out there. He's offered to ship his guitars to Fender at his cost. So, like, just remember, if we get this thing to happen, it'd be awesome. Also, if you get a Boxcar Racer Strat, that's the only other one I can think of they would make besides the silver. It's not going to have the inlays. There's not going to be freebase and inlays. So it's just going to be another black with a white stripe.
With an Invader.
So the orange would be the one for me. What about you, David? Silver, black, boxcar, orange. What would you want?
It would be the orange, but because of what you guys said, like it's going to be a subcaster, isn't it? And that's cool. Like you'll be able to have something set up in like C sharp, C standard that you can play some heavier stuff with, and like you can kind of justify getting it if you've already got a few guitars. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. Like for me personally, because I have the orange, but I would love if they did the silver. Like in the actual color, not the Inca. What is it, Brian? What color is it? Man, I'm drawing a blank.
It's that. Oh, the orange sub.
No, the silver.
Oh, the silver is
Chrome silver. Yeah.
Early 2000s when the Lone Star or the Big Apple Strat, you'll see it. It's not Inca silver.
Yeah, the chrome silver. That would be really, really cool if they did. If they did that one. But other than that, I think the orange, just because, or the Jazzmaster with the subsonic.
Oh yeah.
But
The problem with the Jazzmaster I've heard is that Alex Perez from Fender gave that design to Jim Root. And I know you're probably thinking, that doesn't look like Tom's. It is. If you put a pickguard on it and made one pickup, it's his. It has the square body, but it's the design.
It's the same,
I don't know if they can do it or not.
Because it'll probably hurt his sales, right?
And it had a Dirty Fingers in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if they would do it with the Dirty Finger, which would be really, really cool though. There's the other thing is the natural Strat, just because it's something just different. Like, and that's why I don't know if they made like the all white or the boxcar Strat. It's like we kind of already have those things. Like I think they should do something that's different that the fans, if they're continuing like down the Strat. Otherwise, Starcasters.
People online say, "Oh, the boxcar Strat." Like they've had 2 Mexican black Strats. Just put a pick guard on it, like a black pick guard on it, and you can put some stickers on for the inlays, and you've got boxcar racers.
There's just not a lot to do. Oh, and go ahead and tell us, David, why are we not talking about custom Starcasters?
Well, that's because they can't actually make them in Mexico.
Well, why don't they just do it in Indonesia? It's because the factory just can't handle the load, and they can't do these custom runs. And I'm not going to say it could never happen. I don't work for Fender. I just have heard that it's not as easy to get these custom orders done. And what was it that one of the guys told you, Stefan? Like, even if we did them, Tom doesn't use a plain one anyways. They all have artwork on it. We can't do the artwork. You can't put a Blink smiley on there, guys. They can't even post pictures of Blink on certain magazines with the logo in it because they have to pay royalties to people that own the logo. Yeah,
so the only thing that they could really, I guess, maybe do, if they did, is like the Moondust one, but in just color alone because it has the Stars logo. But other than that, like, it's not really, like, everything else would be copyrighted.
Royalties. Yeah, like the sticker one with the bands and stuff.
Can't do that. Yeah.
But even the Moondust one, though, if you think about like how much that would cost, like even trying to like replicate on the paint, like it would drive the costs like through the roof. Which I don't think like people always appreciate how difficult it can be to actually replicate these guitars on like a big scale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you want a fun story, me and Stefan were in San Diego, and we were told about the Tom DeLonges Strat coming out. and his manager was telling us about it, and he said they wanted to shoot a promo video of Tom playing it for a second on the stage, but the stage was the Smiley. And we were like, so what? Why does that matter? He said, we can't show the Smiley in a Fender promo video. That, like, Blink owns some of it, but there's some, like, labels or something that own the rest of it. You'd have to pay all these royalties and get approvals. So they can't even show the Smiley in a video for Fender to sell something. Like, you could show it on YouTube randomly, but they're trying to sell a product. They can't have the Blink Smiley in there.
Yeah, that's why he was playing all Angels riffs in the Fender one, just because you can't really do it with Blink. It's crazy, the whole business side of it.
He sold all his Blink rights, didn't he? I thought he was doing it because he still had the royalties.
Yeah, he owns all of the Angel music, so he can play whatever he wants with that.
Yeah. So it's but all in all, I mean, I think it is a very cool time to be a Blink gear fan right now with everything. I just hope, people are just happy about it, right? Like, there's so many comments, like, it's crazy, like, how many threads got posted about Padre. Like, people are so excited, and people are like, why are they doing this? And other people are like, man, I can't believe I was able to get one. Others like, oh, how come it didn't sell so quickly? And it's just like the negativity from some things. Like, I get it, like, people can have their own opinion 100%, but like, when you're like knocking these like kids or these people who bought one that are really excited, like, that's not cool. Like, so let people have their own thing.
The people griping because they want this custom shop perfection guitar, I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be 5 figures in US dollars. It's gonna be 10,000 plus. And unfortunately, that's just how it is now with that kind of stuff. For them to match it that perfect and one person make it, everybody's expecting like a custom shop come out. It's like 3,000 or 4,000. It's just not gonna be that.
No.
So
not at all.
It makes sense to do this. At least right now, you might see one day when me and David are 80, or 60, or whatever.
You never know. But that's, unless I missed something, I think that's kind of the history on it. If you guys have any questions on it, please follow us on Instagram, gear.182. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Ask us the questions in the comments. Message us, ask us questions. We typically answer.
My last question is, sometimes people ask us about the cases, like mine and yours.
Yep.
You're like, what guitar goes with what case? Now, every guitar, I think, had a label at some point of which guitar went in which one. But I have seen pictures, and I'm sure you have two-step, and they switch them all the time. Like, it's not like, wait, you got to put Padre in Padre's case. Like,
yeah, they switch them all the time. Like, Padre just so happens that was in the Padre case, but the one like the orange guitar that I have was in the yellow case, and the yellow was in the orange case, and it's just
the green was in mine at one point.
The green was in yours. The green was in another one that's now, or that was the white one was in as well. Like, they just kind of mix and match everything really with it. I don't think it really, at the end of the day, I think as long as the guitars show up, that's all that matters.
Collectors are acting like it's a set, so it's like, which one goes with which? Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's what, 7 of them or 8 of them or something like that?
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Anyway, what do you have on your desk, Stefan?
I got a new garbage can.
Oh, David's got the
You go first, yeah.
San Diego fingerboard.
Fingerboard, yeah.
Art Office Suite.
Yeah.
It's San Diego.
Yeah. That's so cool. Mine are somewhere up there. But they're cool though. When we first saw those, we were like, holy crap, these are super cool.
Alright, let's see what you got.
I have a Google. Wait, how does it go? This way? Google Pixel garbage bin that I got. Just for my garbage. There's nothing in it though yet.
Oh, okay. So
it was. I just kept the bin because I thought I need a garbage bin. But I just thought it was kind of cool. I use an iPhone and a Pixel, but I use both.
So I recently went to Disney World, went to Sabi's workshop. Check this out.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you got to like. So you built it from scratch, like.
Yeah, you put the parts together, and you choose what you want. You choose your Kaiser crystal. I went with green because
Why?
Like you said in Return of the Jedi, when Luke came back, oh man, changed my entire childhood.
Yeah.
And I had to do it. And then this thing comes off. It makes all sorts of cool sounds when you do it, if you heard that.
Yeah.
And you can take it apart. You can wear it on your belt. It's just...
That's so cool. Yeah. Every time I'm at Disney, I'm always like, I gotta go in and do this. Is there a black crystal?
There is, and it turns your saber red. But you have to find it randomly. You can't just buy it. Like, you have to buy a red one and hope to get a black one.
Wow, that's cool. Because I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool to have like one of the black sabers. But
I can show you real quick. for the fans. Look at that! Look at that Kaiser crystal in there, dude.
That's
How
sick.
cool is that?
That's so cool. That's really cool. All right, I think that's it. I hope the wait was worth it. Maybe not. I
I
don't
hope we
know.
were recording. Gosh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? 'Cause this is we're right now almost an hour. So can you imagine? It just shoot, forgot to hit. But all right, guys, thank you so much. Again, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. We're pretty open. So until the next video, guys, thank you and bye for now.